Hey everyone, it's Aisha here, and this video is brought to you by Mapio. The topic that today we're going to cover is your HIPAA Safe Harbor and Cloud Native NER. That how secure healthcare pipelines we can make with AWS Lambda and your SageMaker. Let's just get into it. First of all, we're going to see the value of your health data. The analogy we're going to use here is the identity versus the access. For example, there's this one house key, right? So if you lose a credit card, it is basically like losing a house key. So you change the locks and the risk is neutralized. No risk anymore. You change the locks and you're good to go. The fingerprint, for example, if there's a fingerprint, health data is like your biometric signature. You cannot change your DNA, your medical history, or any chronic conditions once leaked. So it is very important to make sure that your health data is secured. As data scientists, the first code that we learn is not hello world. It's literally that how we protect our patients' data and how we make them feel secure about it. We have HIPAA core concepts, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act under 1996 governs the use of your protected health information. Okay, that is basically your health data plus the individual's identity. You're supposed to keep it safe, you're supposed to keep it secure, you're supposed to make your people who are giving you the data, your patients, they should feel secure about it. We have three things here. The first is the health data, identifiers, and your protection. What is your health data? That is your diagnosis, your labs, treatment plans, or any billing info that you have. This is your health data. Your identifiers are their numbers, their names, their social securities, or their birth dates, etc. Then you have the protection is like once linked, data must reside in a HIPAA compliant environment. So that if it's in a compliant environment, it is safe, or patients feel secure about their data and they're okay with going on. Then you have the safe harbor method. To move data out of restricted zones for research, we must de-identify it, right? Safe harbor defines 18 identifiers to remove. For example, we have different types, your direct, your contact, your temporal, your geographic, your unique. These are all the types. So for your direct, the example is your identifier example is name, full face photos, your SSNs, and safe harbor status is to remove it. Your contacts, your phone numbers, your fax, emails, you're supposed to remove it as well. Your temporals are all dates except your date of birth and your admission or administrative date. Then you have geographic, all locations smaller than the state, remove it as well. Then unique, your device IDs, your license plates, your URLs, remove them as well so that you protect the data and it's safe to go on. Then we have what is your reject scrubbing? Your reject scrubbing is basically like, for example, there was a name, right? So can rejects find a name like Dr. Parkinson's without confusing it with a disease? You change it, okay? So this is your rule-based scrubbing for predictable patterns like your phone numbers and dates. So this is how it's used. We're gonna see it in the hands-on better. And then you have NER, your clinical brain, basically. Named identity recognition. Your NER model maps, what do the unstructured text to clinical categories using deep learning. This is where you use your deep learning. Okay, you have two kind of things, your NLP components, your natural language understanding, as well as your natural language generation. Moving on to why cloud for NER APIs. Why do we need cloud for it? What is the necessity of it? We have serverless scaling, you have cost efficiency, and you have compliance as well. What is your serverless scaling? Handle one request or 10,000 requests without managing servers. You can handle this many requests without having the headache of thinking about that server is supposed to be managed. Oh, I didn't manage that server. So you're good to go with it. Your cost efficiency. SageMaker serverless inference allows you what? It allows you to pay only for milliseconds of compute, right? Then you have the compliance. AWS signed BAA ensures the infrastructure it is ready for your HIPAA workloads. Okay, so you have compliance here as well. Your cloud stack, end-to-end pipeline. First, the client, they send a medical note via your API and then goes to your AWS Lambda, the glue that authenticates and parses the request. The third step is your SageMaker, the GPU engine running the transformer model like your clinical bird, etc. Then is you're gonna get your result. What is gonna be your result? Your PHI is and returned to the client. All well. You have your SageMaker deployment. You're gonna use SageMaker Python SDK to host a pre-trained medical NER model, and we're gonna see that better in the hands-on. Your Lambda API logic, what is that? Lambda function bridges the public web to your secure SageMaker endpoint. And then you have encryption and security. What is your encryption and security? Your compliance checklist, basically. Encryption at rest. S3 buckets must use AES 256. Your encryption in transit is basically your API gateways, forces TLS 1.2 plus. Your IAM rules, Lambda should only have invoke endpoint permission, and then comes your CloudWatch logging turned on for your audit trails. Then you have de-identification paths. Method 1 is your safe harbor. Method 2 is your expert determination. What do you do in the method 1? It is basically checklist based. You remove the 8 specific identifiers. Pro is basically objective and fast, and its con is basically can still be vulnerable to linkage attacks. What is your second method? That is just statistically proven low risk by a PhD statistician. What is its pro is that you preserve more data, like zip codes and all that kind of things, but it comes with a con as well, and it's expensive and time consuming as well. The challenges that you're going to see in your medical NER is basically medical text is messy. Why BERT transformer models are needed over a simple keyword search? Because we face ambiguity, we face abbreviations and negations as well. So what is your ambiguity? Parkinson's could be a person or a disease. So context is the king, right? Then your abbreviation, SOB, in shortness of breath, not an insult. Okay, so this is what you go through. Then your negations, patient denies chest pain. A simple keyword search finds chest pain incorrectly. So these are the kind of things you see as a challenge in your medical NER. Then you have your implementation roadmap. You have different phases. Your first phase is you're going to model it up. Your second phase is you're going to do the inference. Third is you're going to go to the API. Fourth is your gateway. And the fifth is the compliance. So in your modeling, what do you do? You containerize your then your APIs, you write logic to clean inputs, and you're going to use Lambda for that. For your gateways, that is what is going to do. It is basically going to expose your HTTP's endpoints, and for that, you're going to use API gateways. For your compliance, you're going to apply VPC and IAM logs. You're going to use your VPCs and IAM for that. These are the kind of services you're going to use. I hope it is all clear to you guys, and now you have built that thing within yourself that you guys are responsible to protect the patient data and to code for good, basically. And I have added everything that you need to know in the code's hands-on. I have created a whole roadmap for you guys where you can know that how to deploy this whole thing, and it'll be easy for you guys to go on and just deploy that by yourself. So if you want to implement, I have curated step-by-step implementation with the code there. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.